Do you know anyone who keeps telling themselves they'll finally become disciplined, only to fall back into the same cycle of weakness? Maybe it's someone who wants to wake up earlier, stick to a routine, stop wasting time, or follow through on their goals. They try to become stronger, but every time they push themselves, the motivation fades. Days pass, weeks pass, and nothing changes. They promise they'll start tomorrow, then the next day, then the next week. Soon the excuses pile up, and they're right back where they always were, distracted, unfocused, and disappointed in themselves. The truth is, most people don't struggle because they're lazy. They struggle because they don't understand discipline. They think discipline means suffering, forcing yourself, or having iron willpower. They believe the only way to break weakness is through extreme effort. But the samurai had a very different approach. And no samurai embodied it more than Musashi. Musashi didn't build discipline through emotion or motivation. He built it through structure, simplicity, and a repeatable method that sharpened the mind day after day. A method so powerful that even today, centuries later, it continues to shape Japanese martial arts and mental training. This method is what we now call the Musashi method, a 7-day system rooted in ancient samurai discipline. A system designed not to inspire you, but to reshape you quietly, steadily, and permanently. In this video, we'll explore this 7-day system and show how it can help you regain control of your mind, rebuild your strength, and eliminate the weaknesses that keep you stuck. But before we begin, let me tell you a story. A story about a man who spent years trying to develop discipline, only to fail again and again, until he discovered the forgotten teachings of Musashi. Section 1. Why modern discipline fails. Most people today believe discipline is something you either have or you don't. They think it's a natural trait, like eye color or height. Some people are strong, and others are weak. Some people can wake up at 5 in the morning, run 10 miles, work all day, and still stick to their goals. Meanwhile, others struggle just to get out of bed on time. But the truth is very different. The real problem is not a lack of discipline. It's the way modern life trains the mind. We live in a world full of noise, speed, and constant instant gratification. Everywhere you look, something is demanding attention right now. Notifications, ads, quick entertainment, endless scrolling. Modern life is designed to keep the mind distracted, overwhelmed, and tired. And a tired mind cannot stay disciplined. This is the heart of why modern discipline fails. Not because people are weak, but because the systems around them are stronger. Think about the average day. The moment someone wakes up, their phone is already pulling them into a river of stimulation. Messages, emails, social media, news, videos. The mind gets thrown into chaos before the day has even started. Instead of focusing on one thing, the brain jumps from thought to thought like a flickering candle in the wind. And when the mind is in this constant state of switching, deep discipline becomes almost impossible. Discipline is not built during chaos. It grows in clarity. But clarity is the one thing modern life rarely gives. Another major problem is the belief that discipline must be extreme. Many people think success requires going all in. They imagine they need to suddenly eat perfectly, exercise intensely, study for hours, or build new routines with no mistakes allowed. They believe discipline is about pushing themselves to their limit every single day. But that approach usually collapses fast because it's built on bursts of motivation, not stability. Motivation burns bright like a match. It sparks with excitement and energy, but dies as soon as the wind of stress, fatigue, or boredom arrives. Discipline based on emotion is fragile. It can't survive real life. The modern world also promotes unrealistic expectations. Social media is full of overnight transformations, intense productivity routines, and people who seem to live perfectly structured lives. When someone compares themselves to these images, they start feeling behind. They think, If I can't do all that, why try at all? The pressure to be instantly perfect stops many people from even taking the first step. This creates a cycle that destroys discipline. Step 1. Feel inspired and set huge goals. Step 2. Start strong for a few days. Step 3. Life gets busy. Stress increases. The goals feel heavy. Step 4. Slip up once. Step 5. Feel guilty and think everything is ruined. Step 6. Quit entirely. Then the cycle starts again. This all or nothing mentality is one of the biggest reasons modern discipline fails. Real change is not a straight line. It's messy. It moves in small waves. If someone expects perfection, the first mistake ends the entire journey. Another force working against discipline is decision fatigue. Modern life requires people to make hundreds of choices every day. What to eat, what to wear, what to watch, what to respond to, when to start tasks, when to rest. Every decision drains a small amount of mental energy. By the time someone gets to the things that matter, exercise, goals, learning, they're already mentally exhausted. A mind that is constantly choosing cannot stay consistent. A disciplined life reduces choices, but modern life multiplies them. Stress is another enemy. Modern stress is not like ancient danger, which came in short bursts and ended quickly. Today, stress is ongoing. Work pressure, financial concerns, social comparison, constant information. This type of stress quietly drains discipline over time. It numbs the mind, lowers energy, and increases the desire for quick comfort. And comfort today is always one tap away. When you add all of this together, it becomes clear why most people struggle. They are fighting a battle their environment is designed to win. People blame themselves for not having discipline, but they never look at the world around them. The constant noise, the endless distractions, the unrealistic expectations, the stress that never ends. These forces shape the mind every day, and they are more powerful than pure willpower. This is why traditional discipline fails. It asks people to fight external chaos with internal force. It tells them to try harder, without giving them the tools to reshape their environment, their habits, or their mental patterns. But the old Japanese, Chinese, and Korean systems of discipline understood something modern culture forgets. Discipline is not created in moments of motivation. It is created by structure, by small rituals, by simple steps repeated over time. These ancient systems worked because they didn't expect the mind to magically transform. They trained it. They shaped it. They guided it gently but consistently. Modern discipline isn't failing because people are broken. It's failing because the methods are. To become disciplined today, you don't need to be stronger. You need a system designed for modern life, one that cuts through noise, reshapes habits, and builds mental stability step by step. And that is where the Musashi method begins. Section 2. The ancient samurai principle that modern minds forgot. Imagine standing at the edge of a silent forest. The wind is still. The world feels frozen. This is how the samurai trained. Not with noise, not with motivation, but with stillness so sharp it felt like a blade pressed against the throat of their weakness. Modern discipline is frantic. Samurai discipline was quiet. And that difference is the reason why most people never develop real strength. For the samurai, discipline did not start with action. It started with alignment. Before they practiced sword technique, before they trained their body, they trained their inner stance, their mind, their intent, their presence. The modern world lost this. Instead, people chase productivity hacks, apps, trackers, routines, supplements, and endless hacks that promise instant mastery. But the samurai understood something deeper. A man without alignment cannot move forward. He only moves in circles. To understand this principle, you need to look at a moment from Musashi's early life. Before he became a legend, before he won 60 duels, before he wrote the Book of Five Rings. He was just a young man full of rage, chaos, and directionless ambition. He believed effort alone would carry him. But effort without alignment is like swinging a sword blind. Musashi learned this the hard way. After a brutal loss early in his journey, he disappeared into the mountains. Not to train his muscles, but to correct the thing he hadn't realized was broken. His internal compass, his sense of purpose, his clarity of action. Only when that was in place did his strength become unstoppable. This is the ancient principle modern minds have forgotten. Discipline is not something you push. Discipline is something you return to. That is the true meaning of the Musashi method. A method built not on intensity, but on centeredness. Let's break it down. When the samurai woke each morning, they did not ask, "How do I stay motivated?" They asked one question: "What is my direction today?" Not a goal, not a checklist, a direction. A single line they would walk with precision. Musashi described it as the way. Not a path outside the self, but a path within. Modern people try to follow 20 different paths at once. They shift their attention every few minutes. They carry 10 intentions in their head and commit to none. The samurai carried one. That is why they were powerful. That is why they were unshakable. Their clarity was deadly. The principle was simple. Choose one direction. Eliminate everything that competes with it. Commit until the path becomes part of your identity. This is where modern discipline collapses. Not because people are lazy, but because they allow 1,000 small distractions to invade their inner stance. They hold the sword, but not the center. They try to enforce control on the outside while their mind is unanchored inside. A samurai would rather take one perfect step forward than 100 chaotic ones. The ancient warriors knew that the man who chases everything achieves nothing. The man who aligns himself, even with one small action, becomes unstoppable. This was their secret. This was the power of their discipline. Every movement, every decision, every breath came from a mental stillness that acted like a foundation beneath their strength. Musashi believed that when the center is right, discipline becomes natural. When it is wrong, discipline becomes torture. This is why most people push themselves only to burn out. Their center is scattered. Their direction is confused. They think they lack discipline, but what they really lack is alignment. Samurai discipline begins with the man himself. His posture, his breathing, his intention, his calm. Only then does the sword matter. Only then does the action matter. Only then does the training matter. What Musashi discovered in his silent years in the mountains is something the modern world desperately needs. Before mastering action, master direction. Before pushing yourself, align yourself. Before fighting the world, stand firmly within yourself. When these pieces fall into place, discipline stops being a battle. It becomes a rhythm, a natural continuation of inner stillness, a movement that flows instead of forces. This is the ancient principle the world forgot. This is the core of the Musashi method. And this is what breaks weakness in 7 days. Because weakness is not a lack of strength. Weakness is a lack of alignment. Once a man regains his center, his actions sharpen, his focus returns, and his resolve becomes durable like tempered steel. This is how the samurai lived. This is how Musashi became a legend. And this is how you rebuild real discipline today. Section 3. The 7-day reset that reforges a man's discipline. Picture a blade that has lost its edge. You don't throw it away. You take it to the whetstone. You grind away the dullness. Slowly, patiently, with steady hands, until it cuts the world clean again. This is what the samurai believed a man must do when his discipline weakens. Not destroy himself, not blame himself, but reforge himself. And they believed this reforging could begin in a single week. The 7-day reset was never written formally. It wasn't a ritual, a ceremony, or a scroll. It was a pattern, a rhythm the samurai followed whenever they felt their inner edge slipping. Musashi used it throughout his life, especially in his early years when he battled chaos inside himself. It was never about punishing the body. It was about purifying the mind, removing the noise, sharpening intention, rebuilding inner stance. Today, the world misunderstands reset. People think it means binge productivity, or a sudden burst of extreme discipline, or a 24-hour surge of motivation. The samurai saw resets differently. To them, a reset was a return to purity. The next lines describe the structure that shaped Musashi's reset. 7 days, 7 anchors, 7 internal corrections. Let's walk through what these days meant, not the surface tasks, but the mindset behind them. Day 1, empty the cup. The samurai began by removing what was unnecessary, silencing distractions, closing mental loops, letting the mind breathe again. Musashi believed that a cluttered mind cannot produce disciplined action. Day 1 wasn't about doing more. It was about doing less, clearing space, restoring mental order so focus has room to form. Day 2, reclaim the body. Samurai discipline wasn't built through punishment. It was built through connection. Day 2 was a return to the body, reconnecting with physical presence, feeling breath again, feeling strength again. The goal wasn't intensity. It was awareness. Because a man who cannot feel his body cannot control his actions. Day 3, claim one direction. On this day, the samurai chose a single focus. Not 10 goals, not dozens of dreams. 1. The path for the next stage of their life. Musashi wrote that clarity is the father of mastery. Without it, discipline leaks away like water through open fingers. Day 3, lock the direction in place. Day 4, confront the weakness directly. This was the day the samurai did what modern people avoid. They looked at their weakness without flinching. Not with shame, not with guilt, but with honesty. Musashi believed that weakness exposed is weakness defeated. Day 4 forced a man to stand in front of a thing that was breaking his discipline and say, "I see you." Only then could he change. Day 5, build the smallest discipline. Here the samurai would choose one simple action they could repeat daily with zero excuses. Nothing grand, nothing impressive, often something so small it seemed insignificant. But this small act became the heart of their discipline, a signal to the brain that the path had begun. And once it begins, momentum grows. Day 6, train the mind under pressure. At this stage, the samurai added controlled stress. Not overwhelming, not chaotic, just enough to test focus. Musashi believed discipline was never built in comfort. It had to be forged under weight, under heat, under challenge. Day 6 reminded a man that he can remain steady even while the world pushes against him. Day 7, the return to stillness. The final day was always quiet, reflective, not a celebration but a grounding. The samurai returned to silence to confirm the path they had rebuilt. Weakness was not fully broken in 7 days, but the man was different. The internal compass was restored. The center was firm again. The blade was sharp enough to continue the journey. This is how the samurai rebuilt themselves. Not through fire, but through recalibration. Not through anger, but through clarity. Not through intensity, but through alignment. And this 7-day reset reveals something modern discipline has forgotten. You do not become strong by fighting your weakness. You become strong by removing the conditions that keep weakness alive. Musashi used this rhythm many times. Before battles, before travels, before major decisions, before writing his teachings. Whenever he felt his inner stance shift, he returned to the beginning. This is the part most men miss today. They keep trying to start from the middle. They keep trying to force discipline without rebuilding the foundation. They try to run before learning how to stand still. But the samurai always return to stillness. They always reset. They always sharpen the blade before entering the fight. The Musashi method's 7-day reset is not a challenge. It is a correction. A return to the man you are supposed to be. A man who is aligned. A man who is focused. A man who does not crumble when difficulty arrives. Weakness breaks under this system not because it is attacked, but because it has no place to grow. This is how the samurai reforged themselves. This is how Musashi rebuilt his discipline. And this is how you break weakness, slowly at first, then suddenly, then permanently. Section 4. The Musashi Method for Breaking Weakness at its Root. Weakness doesn't start loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come crashing through your door like a storm. It starts quietly, softly, almost politely. A small delay, a skip task, a moment of comfort chosen over discomfort. A single promise you whisper to yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." And when that promise repeats often enough, it becomes a chain. This is what Miyamoto Musashi understood long before he wrote the Book of Five Rings. Weakness doesn't dominate a man through force. It dominates him through slow erosion. And once erosion begins, discipline dissolves the way cliffs crumble into the sea. Musashi's method existed to stop that erosion at the root. Not by shouting, not by punishing the self, not by forcing extreme routines, but by rebuilding a man from the inside outward. Today, people try to fix weakness through intensity. Samurai corrected it through structure. This structure has 4 pillars, and each one slices through a different layer of weakness. Let's walk through the method Musashi lived, even before he ever taught it. Pillar 1, the straight path. Remove what bends your direction. Musashi believed that a man becomes weak when his path bends, when he loses clarity, when he starts chasing everything instead of committing to one direction. Modern life pulls at a man from every angle. Notifications, temptations, comparisons, distractions dressed as necessities. Musashi would call these crooked influences, forces that bend a man's path before he even feels it. The Musashi method starts by straightening the path, not by adding new goals, but by removing the twisted ones. Weakness thrives in confusion. Strength grows in clarity. Musashi lived by a simple rule. If the path does not serve the purpose, it is not part of the path. Once the path straightens, the mind stops wandering. Focus begins to sharpen. Discipline starts forming again like a blade finding its edge. Pillar 2, the small strike. Win the smallest battle every day. People think samurai discipline was built through massive feats of strength. It wasn't. It was built by conquering the smallest battles. The ones ordinary men ignore. The invisible attacks that slip under the armor. Musashi believed that weakness is defeated most effectively through consistency, not intensity. A single small win, repeated daily, becomes a wall that weakness cannot climb. Do not seek victory in a single stroke, he wrote. Seek victory in the rhythm. The rhythm was simple. Wake up at the time you said you would. Finish the task you promised yourself. Hold one standard completely, every day, without fail, before long. These small victories forge a kind of inner steel. Not loud, not dramatic, but unbreakable. This is the power modern discipline ignores. Pillar 3, the mirror of truth. Face yourself without turning away. Weakness grows in the shadows. In the areas of your life you avoid examining. In excuses disguised as stories. In the habits you explain instead of change. Musashi believed that the most powerful strike a man can deliver is the one aimed at his own illusion. To break weakness, you first have to look at it directly. No soft language. No comforting narratives. No pretending. Just truth. The samurai called this standing in the mirror. A moment where a man evaluates himself naked of ego, where he watches his own habits like an observer, not a participant. Most people never do this. They run from the truth because it hurts. But Musashi believed the truth is not a blade that cuts you. It is a blade that cuts you free. The moment you face your real weakness, you stop being controlled by it. And when a man stops lying to himself, discipline becomes natural again, because there is nothing left to defend. Pillar 4, the unbroken mind. Hold yourself steady underweight. This pillar is the core of the Musashi method. A man without pressure cannot build discipline. A man overwhelmed by pressure cannot hold it. The samurai solved this paradox by training in controlled difficulty. Not chaos. Not overwhelm. Not trauma disguised as growth. Controlled difficulty. A practice designed to stretch the mind without breaking it. Musashi wrote that a warrior must be able to remain centered while 10,000 things pull at him. This wasn't poetry. It was training. Every day, the samurai placed themselves in mild discomfort, cold, heat, longer stances, deeper focus, quieter environments, extended stillness, until the mind learned to remain calm inside tension. When a man masters this, weakness stops being a threat. Because weakness survives only when discomfort is feared. But once discomfort becomes familiar, once pressure becomes a training ground, once silence becomes a teacher, weakness evaporates, and something else forms in its place, a mind that bends but never breaks. The Musashi method wasn't created to make a man aggressive. It was created to make him stable, calm, intentional, self-controlled without effort. It breaks weakness at the root by removing the conditions that make weakness possible. And what remains after the method does its work is not a perfect man, not a flawless man, but a centered one. A man who can push himself again. A man whose discipline rises naturally. A man whose actions follow his principles instead of his impulses. A man whose strength is not loud, but real. This is the Musashi method. This is how weakness is broken. This is how a man rebuilds himself in 7 days, and for the rest of his life. Section 5, the 7-day Musashi method. There comes a point in every person's life when thinking isn't enough. When reading, planning, hoping, and promising yourself a new start no longer moves the needle. When discipline stops being a concept and must become a practice. That is where the Musashi method begins. Not with motivation, not with a miracle routine, but with a structured 7-day reset that shocks the mind out of weakness and forces it back into clarity. This system is built around one belief. Discipline is not something you gain. It's something you return to. You were born with it. You had it when you learned to walk, when you kept trying even after falling hundreds of times. You had it when you first learned a skill, failing again and again without caring. You had it before comfort and distraction pulled you away from yourself. The Musashi method is the path back. Day 1, cut the noise. The first day is not about doing more. It is about removing what steals your will. From the moment you wake up, you restrict your inputs. No social media. No endless scrolling. No news rabbit holes. You are not trying to be productive. You are separating your mind from the chaos that weakens it. The silence may feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is your first victory. It means your attention is no longer running wild. You are beginning to take control. Day 2, confront yourself. Musashi often wrote that the greatest battle is internal. On the second day, you face the habits, fears, and excuses you've avoided. You write them down. All of them. Without judgment. Without shame. This is not therapy. This is reconnaissance. You cannot defeat what you refuse to identify. You do not fight any of it yet. You simply observe yourself, with brutal honesty. Most people skip this step their whole lives, and that is why they stay stuck. Day 3. Master your morning. The third day is where the first action begins. You choose a morning routine, so simple that failure becomes impossible. Wake up, drink water, stretch for 2 minutes. Sit in silence for 1. That's it. You are not building a perfect routine. You are building reliability. When you follow through on small actions, your nervous system relearns something powerful. I do what I say I will do. Confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from keeping small promises repeatedly. Day 4, the discipline window. On this day, Musashi's philosophy becomes physical. You create a 60-minute window where you do one thing with absolute focus. No multitasking. No interruptions. The task can be work, training, cleaning, or studying. What matters is that you stay locked in for the full hour. This teaches your brain something essential. Your attention belongs to you. Most people can't focus for 5 minutes. When you finish your first discipline window, you'll feel a shift. A quiet strength returning. Day 5, voluntary hardship. Now comes the turning point. The 5th day is about doing something difficult on purpose. Cold shower, long walk, intense workout, deep cleaning session, fasting until noon. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you choose discomfort. The moment you stop running from hardship, your internal state changes. You learn that pain is not a threat. It's a signal, a moment where growth becomes possible. Musashi believed that a warrior who avoids discomfort becomes fragile. This day is where fragility breaks. Day 6, eliminate one weak link. On the 6th day, you remove one habit that weakens you. Not all of them, just one. The habit you know is draining your discipline the most. It could be sugar, late night eating, endless scrolling, overthinking, complaining. The key is to pick one and cut it cleanly. This teaches decisiveness. It teaches commitment. It proves to yourself that you can change without negotiating, bargaining, or delaying. This single act can create a permanent shift. Day 7, declare your new standard. The final day is not about celebration. It is about setting a standard for the next stage of your life. You ask yourself one question: who am I choosing to be from today on? You write the answer clearly. You keep it short. You keep it real. This becomes your code, a personal creed. Musashi carried his code everywhere he went, not as a list of rules, but as a reminder of the self he refused to abandon. You are doing the same. By the end of these 7 days, nothing magical happens. You don't become superhuman. You don't become perfect. What you gain is far more valuable: control. You feel your backbone return. Your mind steadies. Your inner voice strengthens. You stop outsourcing your discipline to motivation and start building it from action. This is the heart of the Musashi method. Not intensity, not perfection, just the quiet, steady return to who you were always meant to be. If your will has felt weak, if your focus has been scattered, if your days have been slipping through your fingers, these 7 days pull you back, not forward. Back to your true nature. Back to your strength. Back to the disciplined version of you that has been waiting beneath the noise. The Musashi method doesn't transform you. It reminds you. And once you remember, you don't go back. And so we arrive at the end of path. 7 days. 7 steps that stripped away the noise, the excuses, the softness that slowly creeps into a modern life built on comfort. If you made it this far, it means something in you is still alive. Something hungry, something tired of drifting, something ready to reclaim the discipline that once defined warriors who walked with clarity, purpose, and unshakable resolve. The Musashi method is not a motivational trick. It's not a challenge you finish and forget. It's a mirror, a reminder of who you can be when you stop negotiating with your weakness and start honoring your own word. Because real discipline isn't about punishment. It's about alignment. It's the quiet promise you keep to yourself when no one is watching. It's a decision to move forward even when you feel heavy, doubtful, or uncertain. It's the refusal to let fear write your future. If this journey sparked something in you, don't let it fade. Carry it into tomorrow. Carry it into the next 7 days. Carry it until the habits you built no longer feel like effort, but identity. And now, I want to hear from you. Tell me the one thing, just one, that you'll start practicing today. Not the full plan, not the perfect routine, just the first step. Write it in the comments. If this helped you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in your journey of discipline and inner strength. Leave a like if this video opened something inside you. And share it with someone who needs a reminder that they're stronger than they think. Remember this, weakness fades the moment you stop feeding it. Discipline grows the moment you choose it. And your life changes the moment you decide you're done living below your potential. Thank you for watching. Stand tall, stay sharp, and keep walking the path.